was this moment in the early 2000s where there was a focus on gay art, and there was this panel discussion in Chelsea, like, what does gay art look like today, right? And it was interesting. It was sort of like the who's who in the gay art world. And there was this gallerist, this Chelsea gallerist, who had an exhibition about gay men. And, you know, someone in the audience said, why is there only one man of color in your exhibition? And he had an exhibition of like 30 people. And he literally said, like, well, I don't know where to find artists of color. And so in some ways, this exhibition is, you know, it's not a direct fuck you to him, but it's very much like, well, look, here's a room full of artists of color that are gay.
They call it art. I call it something else.
It's not just about marriage. I mean, marriage is one thing, and it's beautiful, you know, for people that want to get married. But not everyone wants to get married, you know. And there are people in the gay world that completely resist it. Like, for them, gay identity is not about marriage, you know. And so that's the thing, too, is like there is this sort of like, I don't know, conservative gay voice that I think sometimes squashes all the other voices within the community. So it's kind of like when, you know, conservative gay people say, like, you know, the S&M gays with their whips and their chains, they're so embarrassing. Like, people think that's my community when it's really not. But it's like, sweetie, that is part of your community. Like, sorry to say, you know, and it has a very long history.
Beautiful art. Great.
Oh, it's not too sexual, it happened.
It can never be too sexual because of the fact that even though you're young, you still have to know about sex to be open to what we have right now, which is like open, like gay community and stuff like that.
There is sort of that stigma of like, well, what do you mean you're an artist? Like, what does that mean? You know, that's not a functioning role in society. So that's one stigma, right? And then there's a stigma of being a person of color. And then there's the stigma of being gay. And then on top of that, there's the stigma of being an artist who makes gay art.
I'm a little confused, but some of it has passages to where some of us think at times about some things that we think about, and that a lot of the exhibits here lead you to that. What that might be, I don't want to explain in depth, but I'm pretty sure that people who come here, they'll be able to see that themselves.
They're the insides of books that were written mostly before 1973 that looked at the pathology of homosexuality, right? So, you know, the very first piece in the show is one of his drawings that just says, you know, male homosexuals, their problems and their adaptations. So in some ways, it's sort of like a preface to the exhibition. It's like, these are all male homosexuals and their problems and their adaptations, like through art. I brought some kids from work here the other day, and there was this kid who's, you know, flamboyant, you know, very expressive of his identity. And he immediately went up to the middle one and said, "Oh, that's me." And I was like, "Yeah, girl, that's you. Like, beautiful. You know, there you are. You're on the wall." You know? And I think that's the thing about this exhibition too, is like, it gives, you know, gay men of color a mirror that they don't necessarily see on the walls of an art gallery.
It's a good thing because it gives awareness, and it allows people to see other, like I said, other avenues, or just the same avenue, but it's color.
I wanted to get away from in the exhibition is like gay male bodies of color are seen, usually sort of like hypersexual. So you either have like the Papi Chulo or, you know, the Black Stallion. You know, there's sort of that mythology, even within the gay community. So the exhibition actually speaks to many communities, you know, and in some ways it's very important that it's in the Bronx.